This episode is brought to you by the Italian Wine Academy, teaching WSET levels 1, 2, and 3 in English, right here in Verona, the home of the Italian Wine Podcast. Want to become part of the international wine sector? Need a worldwide recognized certification? Don't know where to start? You can easily complete our courses while you enjoy the fun and excitement of Verona. Make your vacation good value for money by adding a wine certificate to your souvenirs. Visit our website at italianwineacademy.org for more information and sign up today to start your personal adventure in global wine education. Welcome to Jumbo Shrimp Wine Study Maps. We have specially created this free content for all our listeners who are studying for wine exams. This has been a journey of development since Stevie Kim discovered Rosie Baker's hand-drawn maps on Instagram through 2 years of work by our in-house editorial and graphics team, and now the maps are available to purchase in beta form while they undergo the final proofing and editing by our expert advisory board. It's a 3-layered project because we know everyone learns differently. We now offer the complete box set of 39 maps, this series of podcasts with the maps narrated by our crack team of wine educators, and finally, the study guide book, which will be published later this year. Our MAP project is in no way a substitute for the material set out by other educational organizations, but we hope all the wine students out there will find our MAP project a new, exciting, and useful tool for learning. For more information and to buy the maps, please visit our website at mamajumboshrimp.com.
Welcome to the Jumbo Shrimp Wine Study Map podcast. I'm Gill Gordon-Smith, and we're going to talk about map number 38, which is all about fortified wines, but especially fortified muscats. So fortified wines are made in a very diverse range of styles, from red, white to rosé, from dry to sweet. Some are very youthful and aromatic, and some are fully developed and oxidative. The grape variety could either provide its own aroma and flavour characters to the wine, or they can simply be used as a neutral base for the flavours of maturation. Vin du Naturel, or VDN, from Muscat are probably the most obvious example of a fortified wine where the grape variety provides the main flavours of the wine, and this is enhanced by protective winemaking and early release from the winery. You'll also see in the top of this map Rutherglen Muscat, where the wines have been aged in warm and oxidative conditions, and the aromatic notes of Muscat are still notable in the best wines. By comparison, Palominos are really neutral variety, and so the characteristic aromas of sherry all come from the maturation process. We don't talk about Madeira when we're looking at WSET level 3, but you will talk about it at level 4, so it's very noticeable for its high acidity, and it's made with a number of grape varieties such as Cercial and Verdelho, and they have naturally high levels of acidity. If you compare that with sherry, we've got a bone-dry palate and high alcohol. So that can give you a sensation very similar to the acidity in some sherries. The actual level of acidity in sherry is quite low, and that's a characteristic of the Palomino grape. Think about colour as well. So port's usually made from a blend of grape varieties, and one of the factors that we would consider here would be attaining a suitable level of colour in the base wine. The aims are very different in a basic tawny port, which needs to look aged in a really short amount of time. Colour is an important consideration in red wines. Port's usually made from a blend of grape varieties, and one of the factors considered in the blend will be getting a suitable level of colour in the base wine, which is a very different aim from a basic tawny port. As we've covered both port and sherry in other maps, we'll concentrate on muscat here. So there are really 2 broad styles. We have youthful unaged muscats, which are medium gold in colour, quite floral and really aromatic, taking those aromatics from the grape. And the aim of the grape growing and winemaking is to make sure that varietal character is really pure. They're typically sweet, but they're really luscious. One notable example that you need to know, and it does turn up a lot on WSET Level 3 short answers, is Muscat de Beaume de Venise, and that comes from the Southern Rhone. Grapes here are picked when they are ripe and really healthy. You don't want to raisin the grapes. It's not typically practiced for this style. The drying of grapes would add some extra fruit characters that would mask that pure varietal character, which is one of the main things we're looking for in a youthful Muscat de Beaume de Venise.
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local food, and taking in the scenery. Now back to the show.
High-strength grape spirit, is added to partially fermented must and makes a strong sweet wine of around 15 to 20%. They're normally bottled young and have really grapey flavours. Once crushed, the juice could be separated from the skins. They do have a little bit of skin contact sometimes because that will help increase aromatic intensity because a lot of the flavour is just beneath the skin, and will also add some richness to the palate. This can be further enhanced if the skin contact continues during fermentation. It's usually a cool fermentation and it's stopped by fortification. It uses 96% ABV grape spirit to give a sweet wine. So in order to preserve the primary fruit aromas, the wines are stored in inert vessels like stainless steel prior to bottling and protected from any contact with oxygen. The other style would be fully developed aged muscats. So think about wines that are amber to brown in colour. They can be sweet or really luscious. They're also made in a lot of countries, and some of the most celebrated examples made in the luscious style come from Rutherglen in Australia. And Muscat of Rutherglen is a world recognised and critically acclaimed wine style that's very unique to Rutherglen, and it has a history of over 100 years of family winemaking. These wines are blended, and the Soleras have been around for, well over 100 years, and they're a rare gem. They're a type of wine that is not recognised very much outside of Australia, but once you've tried it, you'll love it. Rutherglen Muscat is classified using a tiered system that indicates the level of complexity. So that's something to dive deep into later. So fully developed aged muscats, like Rutherglen Muscat, the grapes are picked when they're ripe and healthy, but in order to make the more luscious style, the producer may allow some raisening to happen prior to picking, but they have to be very careful. Raisening adds extra complexity, but too much raisening will mean the grapes lose too much of their varietal aromas and the wines can lack an expressive muscat character, which is what using muscat is all about because it is such a characterful grape. Fermentation nearly always takes place on the skins, and fortification may take place when the fermentation has reached around 2% ABV, very different from those unaged muscats like Muscat de Beaune de Venise. After that, the wines undergo a period of oxidative aging that can last for decades. They use old wood because they don't want any new oak aromas clashing with the grape aromas, and large oak vessels are widely used. A lot of the time these wines are aged in warm conditions, and as they age they become amber and finely brown, and they develop pronounced oxidative aromas. And even when they're very old, they can still retain their muscat character. Sometimes they will add a little bit of more youthful wine prior to bottling just to give a lovely aromatic lift. Fortified wines are really something that we need to try more of, and you'll find all sorts of styles all around the world, from port to Madeira, right the way through to Marsala and Vermouth.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Italian Wine Podcast, brought to you by Italian Wine Academy, offering WSET levels 1, 2, and 3 in English. Visit our website at italianwineacademy.org for more information and sign up today to start your personal adventure in global wine education right here in the heart of Verona. Remember to subscribe and like Italian Wine Podcast and catch us on SoundCloud, Spotify, and wherever you get your pods. You can also find our entire back catalog of episodes at italianwinepodcast.com. Chin chin!
Hi guys, I'm Joy Livingston and I am the producer of the Italian Wine Podcast. Thank you for listening. We are the only wine podcast that has been doing a daily show since the pandemic began. This is a labor of love and we are committed to bringing you free content every day. Of course, this takes time and effort, not to mention the cost of equipment, production, and editing. We would be grateful for your donations, suggestions, requests, and ideas. For more information on how to get in touch, go to italianwinepodcast.com.